Hi everyone, I'm Tanya Tracy with Flow Physical Therapy and Pilates, and I'm going to show you some upper body exercises that I really like and find to be very beneficial. All you need is a resistance band. You can also use a resistance tube, but just make sure that it's nice and light to moderate with the resistance, because our shoulders don't need really heavy weights and heavy resistance. They just need lots of repetition to get good movement patterns built. I cut my bands very long, and then I tie loops at both ends so that I have something to hang on to. It saves your hands and your wrists a little bit. And you can also tie a knot right in the middle and toss that knot through the door and close the door on it so that the door frame and the door hold on to it while you're pulling to create a nice stable support for it. You can also loop it around something stable like a doorknob or a bedpost, anything you have that's stable that when you pull, it's not coming with you. These exercises are all Pilates based, so when we talk about Pilates, we always integrate the core and posture in. So the first thing is lower abdominal muscles. The lower abdominal muscles sit between here to here, and when we're contracting them or tightening them, we want to feel that tension right across this section here. So you can try this by taking these pubic bones and imagining that you're pulling them towards each other. Or you can also think of these muscles like they're lightly hugging your bladder. Another client of mine really likes the idea of these are headlights. When you're tightening those muscles, it's like you're trying to cross your headlights. What you're not doing is just sucking in. If you feel that spot there, relax, try this again. This means you're just kind of sucking your diaphragm up, and it's not going to be helpful for your core stabilization. All of these exercises can be done either in standing, tall kneeling, which is when you're on your knees but you're not sitting back to your heels, you're still nice and upright. Or you can also sit on the floor crisscross. If your knees are really tight and they're kind of like up in your face, you can sit on a bolster, you can sit on a pillow, a yoga block, a cushion, anything you have just to lift your hips and help open up that area a little bit. The other thing is posture. So with all of these, we want to stand nice and tall. So imagine a string is pulling you up to the ceiling from the top of your head. Now when you do that, you should feel almost like everything's kind of lengthening, and you'll even feel this area get a little tight. What you want to be careful of is that when you go tall, you don't do this. So some people think when they're in good posture, shoulders back, but what happens is your rib cage pops out and you get more extension in your low back. So keeping those ribs connected to your pelvis so that when you lift, it's just a lengthening feeling and not an extending feeling. So the first one we're going to do is chest expansion. All of these exercises, you can do 5 to 15 repetitions of them, depending on your comfort level. So with chest expansion, you're going to start with your hands just in front of your hips. Arms are going to be nice and straight. Wrist is going to be straight, and you can just let the fingers relax, or you can go straight with those as well. Standing tall, abs active, ribs set. You're going to inhale as you press back just past the hip bones. Squeeze those shoulders back, and then exhale as you come forward. As you're doing this, again, inhale it back. That squeeze, you're going to feel like you're trying to bring your shoulder blades together, or like you're trying to spread your collarbones out. Or you can imagine you've got a little dot on the side of your shoulder and you're trying to move it backwards. So those are the cues I like for chest expansion. The breathing with this one is different. The inhale, because as we extend our chest, as we inhale, we typically do extend. As we exhale, things kind of relax in. So it's moving with the natural movements of our body on this one. So the next one we're going to do is drawing a bow. So with drawing a bow, you can crisscross the straps if you want, or you can keep them straight. I find crisscrossing sometimes keeps the band lengths from changing as much. Still gonna be nice and tall. We're gonna step back a little bit so that the arm starts a little bit higher up and is still straight. You're going to exhale as you draw that elbow back and squeeze that shoulder blade so that your hand's coming right in front of your armpit. And then you're going to rotate your chest. And then you're going to inhale back to release. So again, it looks like this. Exhale as you're pulling and squeezing and rotating. Inhale as you're coming back. When you do this, watch that you don't shrug. And the other thing you're going to try not to do is when you do that rotation, you don't want it just to be your pelvis and your hip. Hips stay forward, just your chest bone and your ribs are rotating. You can do this all on one arm, or you can rotate back and forth, side to side, to get a little bit more of a fluid movement going. It just depends on what you like. The other one that I find very helpful is doing rotation, external rotation or outward rotation. So when you do this, you're going to start in a position that looks like this. Elbows are going to be bent, they're going to be down by your side, and it really helps sometimes even to put a little towel roll or pillow between your arm and your side just to open things up a little bit. Again, good posture as you're doing these, and I like to do it so that the back of the band is on the back of my hand, like this. So again, nice and tall, a little bit of tension to start out with, and just rotating out on the exhale, in on the release. Exhale, feel those shoulder blades squeezing, inhale. So back and forth with those. The last two, you're going to face the opposite direction. So for this one, this is called hug a tree. So in hug a tree, arms are going to be like a soft elbow bend. So they're not totally straight and they're not flexed, but a nice little soft bend. You're going to start with the hands just in front of the shoulder, not in line and not behind. So right in front of it, just a little bit. Abs need to be active, and you're even going to lean just a little bit to get your abs kicking in some. You're going to exhale and inhale. Exhale, like you're hugging around a big tree. So my arms look like this. Inhale it back. You can modify this a little bit flowy if you want to, or you can exhale and curl down. Inhale and lift that chest bone up. Again, watching those ribs. So again, you would exhale and inhale. So that's hug a tree. And then the last one is called serve a tray. So again, we're coming forward, abs are active. We're going to have our hands starting just right at the top of our pelvis. So hip bone here, pelvis right here. Elbows are going to be comfortably bent. A little bit of tension on it. Abs active. Again, leaning in just a little bit. And we're going to inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. You can play with this to make it harder by going inhaling up, exhaling out, and back down. So inhale, exhale, down. So that is the series that I like to use the resistance band for, to get a good shoulder and upper body workout. It's not your traditional biceps, triceps. It actually is working on the whole system and a nice movement so that they're working naturally together and we're creating that shoulder stability and that posture. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it's helpful. Enjoy the band and get to it.